In this video I'm going to explain option 2 of our nearest store functionality. The features of option 2 are really easy integration into a website for relatively static stores or addresses or dealerships, etc. The idea is you simply use some of the downloaded examples in PHP or .NET to call our web server for your nearest stores or dealerships or whatever, given the postcode the user has entered. So we do all the processing on our web server and just return you the HTML or the code to create the Google map. Therefore, it's relatively easy for you to integrate. We offer a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet which allows you to put in all your nearest stores and upload them to our server. It also uses templates, which I'll show in a bit, which enables you to sort of define the HTML look and feel of the maps and the list. I've gone to our website, and on the left hand side we have nearest store demo, which takes us to this page here. I'm just going to run through them quickly. Example 1, for instance, just gives us a straight list of nearest stores, and you'll notice it handles all the pagination for us, etc. So that's easy integration into there. Now I'll just flick over to Excel and show you this is using list 1. The idea is you can upload lists, you can have multiple lists, so you could work on a new list, or you could have several different nearest store functionalities on your website. So here I can put in here an ID which uniquely has to identify that address, the postcode, and other bits of data. Now the other bits of data are basically merged with your template. So if I look at template 1 here, it's a simple list. We can see here it's saying the header is this bit of code here. So it's saying record count, stores found, header 2. So if I just flick over, you see there stores found 143. So what it's done is there it's put the record count into there, and then it's gone page number, page selection, etc., which is this pagination here. So that part of the template there defines the header, and of course we have a footer, and we have details section. So here we can see the details. We're putting in the rank, the kilometers to the store, the postcode, which is got from your list here, that data there, and your data 1 followed by your data 2 followed by the phone number, your data 3, etc. So what we're doing is we're taking this data here, which is your town, your directions, and your phone number in your data 1 to 3, and merging them into the details to achieve a look and feel like this. There's the rank, there's the distance, store. So that was your postcode followed by your ref 1, I think it was, your ref 2, and the phone number was in your ref 3. So the idea is, once you've set up the template, you've got total control of the data and the template. So by just adding a very small bit of PHP or .NET to your website, you can achieve that kind of functionality very easily. Okay, that's just a simple example. Let's move on to example number 2. And example number 2 shows a Google map plus the list of nearest stores. So the list of nearest stores is below the Google map, and you can see we have pins all over the map. I can actually move it around and scroll it. The yellow pin there is my target postcode, i.e. what the user entered there. I can also turn on various other controls here. If I just click the button again and refresh it, you can see now we'll have satellite picture and a nice little map down there too, on there. And also if I click on the map, you can see I'm pulling through the details, very similar to what I did in the list. So again, if we switch back and actually have a look at the template here, you can see down here we have a map template. So that's effectively the contents of the bubble. So again, I have total control of how the contents of the bubble. Also, we're defining the size of the pins, and also you can download all these pins from our website, and whether it should have a show target pin, which is the yellow pin there, and shadows and use numbered pins, etc., which we'll see in the next bit. So simply by altering some of that template, you can control the whole map. And incidentally, all this code is downloadable, and you can use it actually. If you don't supply, I think it's an ID number, then it uses our demo data. Obviously, you can't alter the demo data. In fact, it's worth also noting that although I'm uploading this data using these buttons here to our website, we do actually offer a web service which would allow you to program that. So you could actually manage the data and integrate it into your system. Okay, let's move on to another example. I shan't go into too much detail because the principle is much the same. This one here allows us to display tabs. And indeed we've even got a little picture there. So if I just go through and into template number 3, you can see there we have the facility of up to 4 tabs on the pin. So again, that merges all the data very easily. It's also worth pointing out here we have actually called back to a page for more information, and of course you've got a unique reference against each of your addresses or stores, this reference here, so you can supply that back to a web page and handle a click. So if someone clicks on a page and goes for more information, that would then take them to that page and display some additional information. Okay, so that was a tabbed layout. We also have the facility here to do a nearest map with ABC pins on, so A being the closest to the target. This one you can't actually click on, we've turned off the option, but you'll see below the rankings all in ABC, etc. Of course you have total control over the number of rankings per page. This other one here allows you to have pins with different graphics. This actually uses the second list in the example. So here we're saying we've got different pin types, S, T and R. I think R stands for restaurant and T stands for taxi. So therefore we've got restaurants with a little chef on, and we've got taxis with a little car. But our stores are the other pins. So in this one here, which I think is this one here, I guess, we've actually told it to filter out a certain type. Now I think it's the next one. In the call we've made, we've said only include type S's, as the stores are the ones that we're interested in, and it's basically using different icons. I think they prefix with this R or this T, etc. But that's all explained in the website down here. If we go to the explanation, it gives detailed explanation of all the functions down there, which is accessible from this link here. Let me just turn them off, and I'm just going to go to stores in the south, and that's showing you there a different scale with all the different stores on, and again I can click on them to see information. And again we've got one in the north, which is just a different scale, I think, in the north, but that is again taken from a different list. In fact, if you turn show template on and fire it off, it does actually show you the template that was used to create the data. So they're showing us all the example. Excellent. Let's just switch to that data. I think that's the list 1. Yeah, which has got area S and area N. So again we're filtering the nearest list by S or N. There should be some N's in there somewhere. But hopefully that gives you a flavour for how it works. Again, like I say, the idea was really to remove the complexity of programming the nearest store functionality from the actual web programmer. As I say, you can download the example code. There's one in PHP and .NET, which effectively returns the page, and I believe it's not too difficult for us to implement this, so you can get the whole page returned very easily. Obviously, due to the extra complexity and management, we do actually charge slightly extra for holding those addresses and processing them on our web server. And of course you need to apply at Google for a map key, which is easily done.